Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. This week's Parashah 41. Pinchas. That's Numbers 25:10 through 31. Find that on page 181 of your complete Jewish Bible.
Adonai said to Moses, Pinchas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the Cohen, has deflected my anger from the people of Israel by being as zealous as I am, so that I didn't destroy them in my own zeal. Therefore say, I'm giving him my covenant of shalom, making a covenant with him and his descendants after him, that the offices of Cohen will be theirs forever. This is because he was zealous on behalf of his God and made atonement for the people of Israel.
The name of the man from Israel who was killed, put to death with the woman from Midian, was Zimri, the son of Salu, leader of one of the clans from the tribe of Simon. The name of the woman from Midian who was killed was Cosbi, the daughter of Zor, and he was head of the people in one of the clans of Midian.
Adonai said to Moses, treat the Midian as enemies and attack them, because they are treating you as enemies by their trickery they used to deceive you in the Peor incident and in the affair of their sister Cosbi, the daughter of the leader from Midian, the woman who was killed on the day of the plague in the Peor incident, after the plague.
Adonai said to Moses and Eleazar, the son of Aaron the Cohen, take a census of the entire assembly of people of Israel, 20 years old and over, by their ancestral clans, all who are subject to military service in Israel. Moses and Eleazar the Cohen spoke with them on the plains of Moab by the Jordan across from Jericho, explaining, those 20 years old and over who came out of the land of Egypt, as Adonai ordered Moses and the people of Israel.
The census results begin with Reuben, the firstborn of Israel. The descendants of Reuben were of Hanok, the family of the Hanokai, and Palu, the family of Paluai, and Hetzron, the family of Hetzroni, and Carmi, the family of the Carmeni. These were the families of the Reubeni. Of them were counted 43,730.
The sons of Palu, Eliab, and the sons of Eliab, Numuel, Dayton, and Abram. These are the same Dayton and Abram, men of reputation in the community, who rebelled against Moses and Aaron at Korash's group, when they rebelled against Adonai, and the earth opened up its mouth and swallowed them up together with Korach. When that group died, and the fire consumed 250 men, and they became a warning sign. However, the sons of Korach did not die.
The descendants of Simon, by their families, were Nemuel, the family of Nemuli, Yamin, the family of Yamini, and Yakin, the family of Yakinini, of Zerach, the family of Zerashi, and Shaul, the family of Shaulai. These were the families of the Simoni, 22,200.
The descendants of Gad, by their families, were Zaphon, the family of Zaphoni, of Haggai, the family of Haggai, of Shuni, the family of Shuni, of Ozni, the family of Ozni, of Eri, the family of Eri, of Arod, the family of Arodi, of Ariel, the family of Arieli. These were the families of the sons of Gad. According to those counted of them, 40,500.
Now the sons of Judah, first Onan, but and Onan died in the land of Canaan. The sons of Judah who had descendants were Shelah, whereof Shelah, the family of the Shilani, Peretz, the family of the Peretzi, and Zeratz, the family of the Zerchi. The sons of Peretz were Hetzron, family of the Hetzroni, and of Hamul, the family of Hamuli. These were the families of Judah. According to those counted of them was 76,500.
The descendants of Issachar by their families were of Tola, the family of Tolali, of Pubah, the family of Puni, of Jesuab, the family of Jesubi, and of Simon, the family of Simoni. These were the families of Issachar, according to those counted of them, 64,300.
The descendants of Zebulun by their families were Sered, the family of the Sardai, and of Elron, the family of Eloni, and Yachimel, the family of the Yachelemai. These were the families of Zebuloni, according to those counted of them, 60,500.
Sons of Joseph by their families were Manasseh and Ephraim. The descendants of Manasseh were of Mechar, the family of Mechari. Mechar was the father of Gilead the family of Galadi. These were the descendants of Gilead, of Iezer, the family of Iezeri, of Helek, the family of Helki, of Azarel, the family of Azraeli, of Shechem, the family of Shechem-limi, of Shemida, the family of Shemidai, and of Hefer, the family of Hephri. Zeloth, Chad, the son of Maklah, Noha, Hoglah, I missed a line. Zeloth, Chad, the son of Hefer, had no sons but daughters. The names of their daughters were Zeloth, Chad, were Maklah, Noha, Hoglah, Millah, and Tazah. These were the families of Manasseh. Of them were counted 52,700.
These are the descendants of Ephraim. By their families, Shutlach, the family of the Shutlaki, of Becher, the family of the Bechari, and Tachan, the family of Tachani. These are the descendants of Shulach. Of Iran, the family of Irani. These were the families of the descendants of Ephraim. According to those of them that were counted, 32,500. These were the descendants of Joseph by their families.
The descendants of Benjamin by their families were of Bela, the family of Bali, of Ashbel, the family of Ashbeli, of Ekram, the family of Ekrami, of Shuphuam, the family of Shuphuami, of Hupham, the family of Huphami. The sons of Bela were Ard and Naaman of Ard, the family of the Ardi, and of Naaman, the family of Naamani. These were the descendants of Benjamin by their families. Of them were counted 45,600.
The descendants of Dan by their families were Shosham, the family of Shoshami. These are the families of Dan by their families, all the families of Shoshami. According to those of them that were counted were 64,400.
The descendants of Asher by their families, of Jemnah, the family of the Jamah, of Jeshubi, the family of Jeshvi, of Bereha, the family of Brehi, of the descendants of Breha, of Heber, the family of the Hebri, and of Malachi, the families of Malachi. The name of Asher's daughter was Serach. These were the families of the descendants of Asher, according to those of them that were counted, 53,400.
Now the descendants of Naphtali, by their families, of Yahatzel, the families of the Yahatzeli, of Guni, the family of the Guni, of Yetzer, the family of Yetzeri, and of Shillem, the family of Shemalai. These are the families of Naphtali according to their families. Those of them that were counted were 45,400.
Thus, those who were counted of the people of Israel numbered 601,730. Adonai said to Moses, "The land is to be parceled out among these as a possession to be inherited, according to the number of names. To those families with more persons you are to give a greater inheritance, and to those with fewer you are to give smaller inheritance. Each family's inheritance is to be given according to the number counted in it. However, the land is to be awarded by lot. They will inherit according to the names of the tribes of their ancestors. But the inheritance is to be parceled out by lot between the families with more and those with fewer."
Those counted among Levi by their families were of Gershon, the family of the Gershuni, Karat, the family of the Kahati, and Merari, family of the Marai. These are the families of Levi, the families of the Lebanon, the family of Hebroni, the family of Machli, the family of Mushi, and the family of Koshi. Hahat was the father of Amram, and the name of Amram's wife was Jochebed, the daughter of Levi, who was born to Levi in Egypt, and she bore to Aram, Aaron, Moses, and their sister Miriam. To Aaron were born Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, and Itamar. But Nadab and Abihu died when they offered unauthorized fire before Adonai. Those males 1 month old or more counted of the Levi were 23,000. These were not included in the census of the people of Israel because no land of inheritance was given to them among the people of Israel.
These are the ones counted by Moses and Eleazar the Cohen, who took a census of the people of Israel in the plains of Moab by the Jordan across from Jericho. There was not a man among them who had also been included in the census of Moses and Aaron the Cohen when they enumerated the people of Israel in the Sinai desert, because Adonai had said of them, "They will surely die in the desert." So there was not left even one of them, except Caleb, the son of Uphendi, and Joshua, the son of Nun.
Then the daughter of Ziloph, Chad, the son of Hefer, the son of Gilad, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, of the families of Manasseh, of the son of Joseph, approached. These were the names of his daughters: Malach, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Ritza. They stood in front of Moses, Eleazar the Cohen, the leaders of the whole community at the entrance of the tent of meeting, and said, "Our father died in the desert. He wasn't part of the group who assembled themselves to rebel against Adonai in Korach's group, but he died in his own sin, and he had no sons. Why should the name of our father be eliminated from his family just because he didn't have a son? Give us property to possess, along with the brothers of our father." Moses brought this cause before Adonai.
Adonai answered Moses, "The daughters of Zoloth, Chad, were right in what they say. You must give them property to be inherited along with that of their father's brothers. Have what their father would have inherited passed to them. Moreover, say to the people of Israel, if a man dies and does not have a son, you are to have his inheritance passed to his daughter. If he doesn't have a daughter, give his inheritance to his brothers. If he has no brothers, give his inheritance to his father's brothers. If his father doesn't have brothers, give his inheritance to the closest relative in his family, and he will possess it. This will be the standard for judgment to be used by the people of Israel, as Adonai ordered Moses.
And Adonai said to Moses, climb this mountain in the Abraham range and look out at the land which I've given the people of Israel. After you've seen it, you too will be gathered to your people, just as Aaron your brother was gathered, because in the Sinai desert, when the community was disputing with me, you rebelled against my order to uphold my holiness by means of the water with them, looking on. This was the Meribah Kadesh spring in the Sinai desert.
Moses said to Adonai, let Adonai, God of the spirits of all human beings, appoint a man to be over the community, to go out and come in ahead of them, to lead them out and bring them in, so that Adonai's community will not be like sheep without a shepherd.
Adonai said to Moses, take Joshua the son of Nun, the spiritual man, and lay your hand on him. Put him in front of Eleazar the Cohen and the whole community, and commission him in their sight. Delegate to him some of your authority, so that the entire community of Israel will obey him. He is to present himself to Eleazar the Cohen, who is to find out by means of the Urim that Adonai's will is for Joshua's decisions. Wait a minute. That Adonai's will is for Joshua's decisions. Then at his word they will go out, and at his word they will come in. Both he and all the people of Israel with him, the whole community.
Moses did as Adonai had ordered him. He took Joshua, put him before Eleazar the Cohen and the whole community, laid his hands on him, and commissioned him, as Adonai had said through Moses.
Adonai said to Moses, give an order to the people of Israel. Tell them, you are to take care to offer me at the proper time the food presented to me as offerings made by fire, providing a fragrant aroma for me. Tell them, this is the offering made by fire that you are to bring to Adonai, male lambs in their first year without defect, 2 daily as a regular burnt offering. Offer the one lamb in the morning and the other lamb at dusk, along with 2 quarts of fine flour as a grain offering mixed with 1 quart of oil from pressed olives. It is the regular burnt offering, the same as was offered on Mount Sinai, to give a fragrant aroma, an offering made by fire for Adonai. Its drink offering is to be 1 quarter hin for 1 lamb. In the holy place you are to pour out a drink offering of intoxicating liquor to Adonai. The other lamb you are to present at dusk. Present it with the same kind of grain offering and drink offering as in the morning. It is an offering made by fire with a fragrant aroma for Adonai.
On Shabbat, offer 2 male lambs in their first year and without defect, with 1 gallon of fine flour as a grain offering, mixed with olive oil, and its drink offering. This is the burnt offering for every Shabbat, in addition to the regular burnt offering and its drink offering.
At each Rosh Kodesh of yours, you are to present a burnt offering to Adonai consisting of 2 young bulls, 1 ram, and 7 male lambs in the first year without defect, with 6 quarts of fine flour mixed with olive oil as a grain offering for each bull. 4 quarts of fine flour mixed with olive oil as a grain offering for the one ram. And 2 quarts of fine flour mixed with olive oil as a grain offering for each lamb. This will be the burnt offering, giving a fragrant aroma, an offering made by fire for Adonai. Their drink offerings will be 2 quarts of wine for a bull, and 1 1/3 quarts for the ram, and 1 quart for each lamb. This is the burnt offering for Rosh Chodesh throughout the months of the year. Also, a male goat is to be offered as a sin offering to Adonai in addition to the regular burnt offerings and its drink offering.
In the first month, on the 14th day of the month, is Adonai's Passover. On the 15th day of the month is to be a feast. Matzah is to be eaten for 7 days. The first day is to be a holy convocation. Do not do any kind of ordinary work, but present an offering made by fire, a burnt offering to Adonai, consisting of 2 young bulls, 1 ram, and 7 male lambs in the first year. They are to be without defect for you. With their grain offering, fine flour mixed with olive oil. Offer 6 quarts for a bull, 4 quarts for a ram, and 2 quarts for each of the 7 lambs. Also a male goat as a sin offering to make atonement for you. You are to offer these in addition to the morning burnt offering, which is the regular burnt offering. In this fashion you are to offer daily for 7 days the food of the offering made by fire, making a fragrant aroma for Adonai. It is to be offered in addition to the regular burnt offering and its drink offering. On the 7th day, you are to have a holy convocation. Do not do any kind of ordinary work.
And on the day of the first fruits, when you bring a new grain offering to Adonai in your feast of Shavuot, you are to have a holy convocation. Do not do any kind of ordinary work, but present a burnt offering as a fragrant aroma for Adonai, consisting of 2 young bulls, 1 ram, 7 male lambs in their first year, and their grain offering. Fine flour mixed with olive oil, 6 quarts for each bull, 4 quarts for the 1 ram, 2 quarts for each of the 7 lambs. Plus a male goat is to make atonement for you. You are to offer these in addition to the regular burnt offering and its grain offering. They are to be without defect for you with their drink offerings.
In the 7th month, on the first day of the month, you are to have a holy convocation. Do not do any kind of ordinary work. It is a day of blowing the shofar for you. Prepare a burnt offering to make a fragrant aroma for Adonai. 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 7 male lambs in their first year and without defect. With their grain offering, consisting of fine flour mixed with olive oil, 6 quarts for the bull, 4 quarts for the ram, and 2 quarts for each of the 7 lambs. Also 1 male goat as a sin offering to make atonement for you. This is to be in addition to the burnt offering of Rosh Chodesh with its grain offering, the regular burnt offering with its grain offering, and their drink offerings. According to the rule for them, this will be a fragrant aroma, an offering made by fire to Adonai.
Now on the 10th day of this 7th month, you are to have a holy convocation. You are to deny yourselves, and you are not to do any kind of work, but you are to present a burnt offering to Adonai to make a fragrant aroma. 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 7 male lambs in their first year. They are to be without defect for you. With their grain offering, fine flour mixed with olive oil, 6 quarts for the bull, 4 quarts for 1 ram, and 2 quarts for each of the 7 lambs. Also 1 male goat as a sin offering, in addition to the sin offering for atonement and the regular burnt offering with its grain offering and their drink offerings, and that would be called the Day of Atonement.
On the 15th day of the 7th month, you are to have a holy convocation. You are not to do any kind of ordinary work. and you are to observe a feast to Adonai 7 days. You are to present a burnt offering, an offering made by fire, bringing a fragrant aroma to Adonai. It is to consist of 13 young bulls, 2 rams, 14 male lambs in their first year. They are to be without defect, with their grain offering. Fine flour mixed with olive oil, 6 quarts for each of the 13 bulls, 4 quarts for each of the 2 rams, and 2 quarts for each of the 14 lambs. Also 1 male goat as a sin offering, in addition to the regular burnt offering with its grain and drink offerings.
That would be called the Feast of Tabernacles. On the second day, you are to present 12 young bulls, 2 rams, 14 male lambs in the first year without defect, with the grain and drink offerings for the bulls, rams, and lambs according to their number, in keeping with the rule. Also 1 male goat as a sin offering in addition to the regular burnt offering, its grain offering, and their drink offerings.
On the third day, 11 bulls, 2 rams, 14 male lambs in their first year without defect, with the grain and drink offerings for the bulls, rams, and lambs according to their number, in keeping with the rule. Also 1 male goat as a sin offering, in addition to the regular burnt offering with its grain and drink offerings.
So are we on the 5th day or the 4th day?
4th day.
On the 4th day, 10 bulls, 2 rams, 14 male lambs in the first year without defect, with the grain and drink offerings for the bulls, rams, and lambs according to their number, in keeping with the rule. Also 1 male goat as a sin offering in addition to the regular burnt offering with its grain and drink offerings.
On the 5th day, 9 bulls, 2 rams, 14 male lambs in the first year without defect, with the grain and drink offerings for the bulls, rams, and lambs according to their number, in keeping with the rule. Also 1 male goat as a sin offering, in addition to the regular burnt offering with its grain and drink offerings.
Now, on the sixth day, 8 bulls, 2 rams, 14 male lambs in the first year without defect, with the grain and drink offerings for the bulls, rams, and lambs according to their number, in keeping with the rule. Also 1 male goat as a sin offering in addition to the regular burnt offering with the grain and drink offerings.
On the 7th day, 7 bulls, 2 rams, 14 male lambs in the first year without defect, with the grain and drink offerings for the bulls, rams, and lambs according to their number, in keeping with the rule. Also 1 male goat as a sin offering, in addition to the regular burnt offering with its grain offering and drink offerings.
Now on the 8th day, you are to have a festive assembly, and this one is called Sukkot. You are not to do any kind of ordinary work, but you are to present a burnt offering, an offering made by fire, giving a fragrant aroma to Adonai. 1 bull, 1 ram, 7 male lambs in their first year without defect, with the grain and drink offerings for the bull, the ram, and the lambs according to their number, in keeping with the rule. Also 1 male goat as a sin offering in addition to the regular burnt offerings with its grain and drink offerings.
You are to offer these to Adonai at your designated times, in addition to your vows and voluntary offerings, whether these are your burnt offerings, grain offerings, drink offerings, or peace offerings. Moses told the people of Israel everything, just as Adonai had ordered Moses. Then we have Jeremiah 1:1 through 2:3.
Jeremiah 1:1.
Find that on page 544.
These are the words of Jeremiah, the son of Hilkiah, one of the Cohen, living in Anorat, in the territory of Benjamin. The word of Adonai came to him during the days of Josiah, the son of Ammon, the king of Judah, in the 13th year of his reign. It also came during the days of Jehoiakim, the son of Yoshiyahu, king of Judah, continuing until the 11th year of Etziyahu, the son of Yoshiyahu, king of Judah, right up until the time of Jerusalem was carried away captive in the 5th month. Here's the word of Adonai that came to me. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I separated you from myself. I have appointed you to be a prophet to the nations. And I said, Oh, Adonai Elohim, I don't know how to speak. I'm just a child. But Adonai said to me, Don't say I'm just a child, for you will go to whomever I send you, and you will speak whatever I order you. Do not be afraid of them, for I am with you, says Adonai, to rescue you. Then Adonai put out his hand and touched my mouth. And Adonai said to me, There, I have put my words in your mouth. Today I have placed you over nations and kingdoms, to uproot and to tear down, to destroy and to demolish, to build and to plant. The word of Adonai came to me, asking Jeremiah, What do you see? And I answered, I see a branch from an almond tree. Then Adonai said to me, You have seen well, because I'm watching to fulfill my word.
A second time the word of Adonai came to me, asking, What do you see? I answered, I see a cauldron tilted away from the north over a fire fanned by the wind. Then Adonai said to me, From the north calamity will boil over unto everyone living in the land, because I will summon all the families in the kingdoms of the north, says Adonai. And they will come and sit, each one on his throne at the entrance to the gates of Jerusalem, opposite its walls, all the way around, and opposite all the cities of Judah. I will pronounce my judgments against them for all their wickedness in abandoning me, offering incense to other gods and worshiping what their own hands made. But you, dressed for action, stand up and tell them everything I order you to say. When you confront them, don't break down, or I will break you down in front of them. For today, you see, I have made you into a fortified city, a pillar of iron, a wall of bronze against the whole land, against the kings of Judah, against its princes, against its Cohen and the people of the land. They will fight against you, but they will not overcome you, for I am with you, says Adonai, to rescue you.
Then the word of Adonai came to me, Go and shout in the ears of Jerusalem that this is what Adonai says. I remember your devotion when you were young, how as a bride you loved me, how you followed me through the desert, through a land not sown. Israel is set aside for Adonai, the first fruits of his harvests. All who devour him will incur guilt. Evil will befall them, says Adonai.
Now we have John 2:13 through 22. That's on page 1331. John 2:13. It was almost time for the festival of Passover in Judah. So Yeshua went up to Jerusalem. In the temple grounds he found those who were selling cattle, sheep, and pigeons, and others who were sitting at tables exchanging money. He made a whip from cords and drove them all out of the temple grounds, the sheep and cattle as well. He knocked over the money changers' tables, scattering the coins. And to the pigeon sellers he said, Get these things out of here. How dare you turn my father's house into a market? His disciples later recalled that the Tanakh says, Zeal for your house will devour me. So the Judeans confronted him by asking him, What miraculous sign can you show us to prove that you have a right to do all this? Yeshua answered them, Destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up again. The Judeans said, It took 46 years to build this temple, and you're going to raise it up in 3 days? But the temple he had spoken of was his body. Therefore, when he raised from the dead, his disciples remembered that he had said this, and they trusted in the Tanakh and in what Yeshua had said.
Now, while Yeshua was in Jerusalem at the Passover festival, there were many people who believed in his name when they saw the miracles he performed. But he did not commit himself to them, for he knew what people are like. That is, he didn't need anyone to inform him about a person because he knew what was in the person's heart.
Then we have Romans 11, 2 through 32. Find that on page 1414. Romans 11:2. God has not repudiated his people, whom he chose in advance. Or don't you know that the Tanakh says about Elijah, he pleads with God against Israel. Adonai, they have killed your prophets and torn down your altars, and I'm the only one left. And now they want to kill me too. But what is God's answer to him? I have kept for myself 7,000 men who have not knelt down to Baal. It's the same way in the present age. There is a remnant chosen by grace. Now, if it is by grace, it is accordingly not based on legalistic works. If it were otherwise, grace would no longer be grace.
I have to make a comment that this was put in by the writer of this Bible because it is in parentheses.
What follows is that Israel has not attained the goal for which she is striving. The ones chosen have obtained it, but the rest have been made stone-like, just as the Tanakh says. God has given them a spirit of dullness, eyes that do not see and ears that do not hear, right down to the present day. And David says, let their dining table become for them a snare and a trap, a pitfall and a punishment. Let their eyes be darkened so they can't see, with their backs bent continually.
In that case, I say, isn't it that they have stumbled with the result that they have permanently fallen away? Heaven forbid. Quite the contrary. It is by means of their stumbling that the deliverance has come to the Gentiles, in order to provoke them to jealousy. Moreover, if their stumbling is bringing riches to the world, that is, if Israel's being placed temporarily in a condition less favored than that of the Gentiles is bringing riches to the latter, how much greater riches will Israel in its fullness bring them?
However, to those of you who are Gentiles, I say this. Since I myself am an emissary sent to the Gentiles, I make known the importance of my work in hope that somehow I may provoke some of my own people to jealousy and save some of them. For if their casting Yeshua aside means reconciliation for the world, what will their accepting him mean? It will be life from the dead.
Now if the challah offered as first fruits is holy, so is the whole loaf. And if the root is holy, so are the branches. But if some of the branches were broken off, and you, a wild olive, were grafted in among them, and have become equal sharers in the rich root of the olive tree, then don't boast as if you were better than the branches. However, if you do boast, remember that you are not supporting the root is supporting you. So you will say, branches were broken off so that I might be grafted in. True, but so what? They were broken off because of their lack of trust. However, if you keep your place only because of your trust, so don't be arrogant. On the contrary, be terrified. For if God did not spare the natural branches, He certainly won't spare you. So take a good look at God's kindness and his severity. On the one hand, severity towards those who fell off. But on the other hand, God's kindness toward you, provided you maintain yourself in that kindness. Otherwise, you too will be cut off. Moreover, the others, if they do not persist in their lack of trust, will be grafted in. God will be grafted in, because God is able to graft them back in. Moreover, the others, if they do not persist in their lack of trust, will be grafted in, because God is able to graft them back in. For if you were cut out of what is by nature a wild olive tree, and grafted, contrary to nature, into a cultivated olive tree, how much more will these natural branches be grafted back into their own olive tree?
For brothers, I want you to understand this truth, which God formerly concealed, but is now revealed, so that you won't imagine you know more than you actually do. It is that stoniness, to a degree, has come upon Israel, until the Gentile world enters in its fullness, and that it is in this way that all Israel will be saved. As the Tanakh says, out of Zion will come the Redeemer. He will turn away ungodliness from Jacob, and this will be my covenant with them when I take away their sins. With respect to the good news, they are hated for your sake, but with respect to being chosen, they are loved for the patriarch's sake. For God's free gifts and his calling are irrevocable. Just as you yourselves were disobedient to God before, but have received mercy now because of Israel's disobedience, so also Israel has been disobedient now, so that by your showing them the same mercy that God has shown you, they too may now receive God's mercy. For God has shut up all mankind together in disobedience, in order that he might show mercy to all.
Hallelujah. Thank you, Father God, and thank you for helping us to grasp the complicated scripture here. I think it has a lot to do with those Orthodox Jews that do not believe in Jesus, that they will be grafted back in. And I have seen that personally, that many Jews who did not believe in the Messiah have come to trust in God and to believe that Yeshua is the Messiah now. And the numbers are growing. And if the words in the Bible use the word jealousy, yes, there is a type of jealousy that will bring people to God. And we thank you for your explanation on this point. In the name of Yeshua, we humble ourselves before you. Amen.
Amen.